Welcome back to the TX Down Under 24. Just a bit of a bonus video this one. I'm using my Insta 360 X3. We just fixed Gary's bike up here, or he fixed it up, and we're heading off. We ended up in Texas here in a downpour. That's Texas, Queensland, Australia. It absolutely came down. Lightning, thunder. Pretty lasted 20 minutes. We just waited around, had a coffee, and when we left it was okay actually. Only got a few more big spits of rain on the way. Lucky we could get under this awning here at the service station. Boys are all getting ready. There's the Texas Roadhouse. We stop here all the time. This is where we've got to fuel up. We can only go so far on these bikes. That one there's one of them's only got a 14 litre tank on it. So, by the way, too, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd be so grateful. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I'm up to about 590 at the moment, but I've got over 1,000 people on my Facebook, Plastic Motorcycles Australia. So, at 500, if you can give me a subscribe, it would make me a happy man. Anyway, here we are going just out of Texas. All these grey nomads, we call them here in Australia, they travel around the countryside. Yeah, just realised here that I'd left my helmet undone. So Ray's taken off there. Still looks a bit stormy up ahead, but we were lucky. Yeah, just had to do the helmet up here. And then we'd be on our way, and I had that little bit of clutch problem just further down the road here too. Like Gary's clutch, the knob came off the cable, where mine, the cable dropped out of the linkage down on the engine. It was an easy fix. We did it in Bingra that afternoon when we got there. Here we are leaving Bingra on the Tuesday morning. We're going to fuel up at the service station, or the servo as we call it here in Australia. I think you can see the fuel prices here. I'm thinking mine was about $1.79 a litre. I just use 91 in my bike, where most of the other guys seem to be putting in 95 or 98. Yeah, down here in Manila now, about 100 k's down the road, we had to fuel up. As I said, that bike there's only got a 14 litre tank on it. Here the boys are all fueling up. You can see the petrol price there. This is not far from Tamworth, which I think we got within about 13 kilometres of Tamworth actually. I didn't know we were going down that far. Cruising along here out of Manila, going to try to catch up to Ray Steptoe here on his, I'm thinking it's a 72, could be a 73, Yamaha TX 750. Very nice bike though. I'm just using my Insta 360 microphones here. I don't have a wireless microphone hooked up. Look at Ray's bike there. Very nice riding here today. It was beautiful weather we were getting. Usually late October here in New South Wales and Queensland, you'd expect it to be a little bit warm, but we were very lucky. Clear skies, about 9 o'clock in the morning, and just beautiful. I can put the speed up every now and then. You can hear these two TXs just purring along. This is Freddie coming up past me up the Moonbee Hill. coming from Tamworth to Armidale. I was flat here. I had that thing of mine. I didn't change down a gear, but I ended up having the throttle flat. And then when I asked Freddie here, I said, were you in top gear? And he said no, so maybe that was why, but mine was fairly working going up there. We just stopped at the Moonby Lookout here, have a bit of a look. And a rest. We don't go far between stops.
I fucking go along, I'm in top. In the end, I'm thinking I've got no more throttle left.
Yeah, that was funny. Coming into Inverell here with Ray. That's a great bike of his. It's smoothest TX I think I've ever been on, other than Greg Applewhite's. Ray knows what I'm up to here. We did go out and check out a shearing shed at an old church out of town here it was about 11 k's out of town. We just wanted to kill some time before lunch. We're a little bit early. Now we just left Bundara, we're heading to Inverell. We had taken a bit of a long route to get to here, which was very rough. I was thinking I should have came straight to Inverell and not gone on that long route. But anyway, I did it. We had been in Inverell that night, stayed in the motel there. It was $130 a night. Gary Roberts tried to fix up his old clutch cable, but he had no luck, so he ended up having to put on one of our spares, and we found out when he went to go that he had no clutch adjustment. He couldn't get it adjusted enough. There's Mal's Sport Glide, I think he said, the Harley. Here comes Mal. We haven't seen him for a few years on the run. He does have a TX 750. Yeah, all ready to leave Inverell. The motel was great. Warming up all these big twin. Mine was blowing a bit of smoke actually. I've got valve stem seals leaking, I'd say. Does it every now and then, not all the time. Ray was just informing me that I had some issues. I think it was a Royal Hotel here in Inverell, which is down in New South Wales. We usually come here every year to a rally held, I think it was held around July. There's Mal's big Harley. He left us here and went back to Yamba. We met him in Bingra the first night, and then he just rode back by himself, and we rode on to Frank's place. Picked Frank up just out of Inverell, heading towards Ashford on our towards our first fuel stop, and where Gary found out that he had no clutch. We're just coming onto the Bruxner Highway here, and I've never gone right. I've always gone left here, so listen to that TX. Yeah, we're heading down towards Tenterfield on the New England Highway. To get to the New England Highway was 150 k's from the fuel stop, so it was a fair run. Stopped at some roadworks here on the Bruxner. We've only got Ray Steptoe behind us. Freddie and Gary had headed off a little bit earlier than us to get to Frank's place. The road was fairly good. It was rough in patches out here. We have rough roads in places. Leaving Frank's place in Stanthorpe, they just sort of fixed up Gary's clutch as best they could. I had a spare clutch perch which they used, and Frank had some adjusters. So we were heading into Stanthorpe for lunch, which was a late lunch. It was getting on to 2 o'clock by now. There goes Gary. We're just riding around the roundabout to get back to the pie shop, Foxy's Bakery. In Australia we have bakeries that make meat pies. all sorts of meat pies, or anything you can think of. When you're travelling around the world, they don't seem to have pie shops like we do. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, please. I need your help. Yeah, we're all rocking in here at about 2:15, I think. Foxy's Bakery. It was all right too. Although I did just have a couple of sandwiches. I didn't want too much. I did have a spring roll back in Ashford when we stopped with Gary's clutch problem. I was getting a little hungry actually. But I knew we were getting to Killarney that night for dinner, so I didn't want to go and eat too much. Leaving the bakery, heading now to Killarney. Riding through Stanthorpe, nice country town, probably, I'm thinking 200 k's from Brisbane. We went to Frank's. As you can see, the weather was good. There goes Frank, he's on his TX now with us. That's the nice service station we filled up at. We often pull up at that one. Following Frank here, coming up towards that bridge just before Lagoon, on the Queensland New South Wales border here. We're getting close. Pretty on a bit. It's pretty 3 o'clock or a bit after 3. There you go, a bit more speed, 604 metres above sea level there. Going along here near Lagoon. I think that's Lagoon ahead somewhere. I just spin the 360 camera around with the app. Now we're coming into Killarney. Down the main street of Killarney here. And you may see a bakery on the left here, I'm pretty sure. There are bakeries in all the country towns. They are like the McDonald's. $120 a night there. Getting ready to leave in the morning. Frank and Freddie had already gone, and I'm riding home with Gordon and Greg and Bob. They rode up from Brisbane the day before on their modern bikes, a couple of Triumphs, Tigers and a Suzuki V-Strom. Just saying goodbye to Gary and Ray here. The sun's just in the wrong spot here.
See you later, buddy. Tell Gary I said goodbye. Catch you, mate.
It's around 8 o'clock here now. We had some noise here in the morning with street sweepers and council vehicles driving past. No way you were going to sleep in. Here I am on the Killarney to Boona Road, past the Queen Mary Falls. I think they call it the Head Road here. It is very narrow and it is windy, but this bit of video I've got on doesn't show how windy it is. As you can see, it's 980 metres above sea level here. Nice ride through here early in the morning. Here we come up to Fred. Stopped on the side of the road here. He was going to take some photos, I think, down the valley. There he is. Oh, that sun came out too. Yeah, the timeless touring, that's what it reminded me of when I went past Freddie there. Very nice here. A fair few cattle along the side of the road too, so we had to take it easy. You can see we're 1,000 metres above sea level now. I may have had a couple of those clips mixed around. I'm sure we're going downhill all the time, as you can see on the graph there. But yeah, very narrow winding road here, and I was on the brakes a lot. I'm glad I had the twin disc on. Just seemed to be on the brakes. Coming along to a couple of little waterways down here. This is just like going through a farmer's paddock. They've just made a bitumen road in it. As I said, there's cattle. You'll see here in a moment. There's cattle along the side of the road. It's a very narrow road. Hit that like button too if you could. Those cattle were fairly good. They seem to just stay there. They know that traffic runs through here. Here's another one I had to go through. You can see I'm down at 325 metres now. We're down the Great Dividing Range. Those cattle didn't seem too worried. Anyway, had a great time.